Mediators between Israel and Hamas say a ceasefire deal is imminent and Hamas has agreed to a draft agreement. Negotiators say it's the closest they've come to reaching a deal in months, and initial discussions are focused on a 6-week ceasefire in Gaza. That deal would see dozens of hostages released and Palestinian prisoners freed in exchange. A long-term end to the 15 months of war isn't on the table yet, but US officials are confident this first crucial step will happen.
I believe we will get a ceasefire. And whether we get there in the remaining days of our administration or after January 20th, I believe the deal will follow closely the terms of the agreement that President Biden put forward last May and our administration rallied the world behind.
Israel launched its assault in Gaza after Hamas-led fighters stormed its borders on October 7, 2023, killing 1,200 people and taking more than 250 hostages. According to Palestinian health officials, the IDF forces have since killed more than 46,000 people in Gaza. Israel is demanding the release of 33 hostages, including women, children, elderly and the sick. 98 captives are still thought to be in Gaza, though it's unclear how many are alive. In Jerusalem, hundreds have marched in protest against the expected deal, urging lawmakers not to negotiate with Hamas. Family members of captives have also met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to demand that all hostages are released in any deal.
This is unacceptable. We are still waiting and we are demanding from Prime Minister Netanyahu, from Qatar, from President-elect Trump to agree upon all the stages of negotiation and get all the hostages back. We don't want more hostages left behind, and we don't want to hear about more hostages being killed in captivity like my cousin.
Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have been displaced during the war, and large parts of Gaza have been reduced to rubble. Those who fled the conflict say Palestinians dream of a life free from the constant struggle and brutality of war.
We really hope it happens because our people are in desperate need to take a break from this big burden and this wound that hit every house in Palestine and every house in the Gaza Strip. Every family has a story and every citizen has a story because we paid a high price in this battle.
If a ceasefire is reached, Israel is expected to start withdrawing troops from parts of Gaza but maintain control of border areas. One of Hamas's key demands in negotiations has been the release of Palestinians in its Israeli jails. It's understood up to 1,000 could be freed. Only one ceasefire has been enacted so far. That was back in November 2023, and it only lasted 1 week. About half of the hostages were freed in return for Palestinian detainees. Further negotiations for a lasting peace are expected to take place if this ceasefire agreement goes ahead.